Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. I have here with me now this dude. He does the latest recaps of the Shy, Power, the Deuce, but now we're talking about his Chicago Bears in the playoffs as they face the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles this weekend. Jay Moore of Jay Moore Reviews. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Good to be here.
All right, thank you for coming on. Now, you've been a Bears fan all your life, am I correct?
That is correct. That's the team I first saw play football and made me want to play football as a kid.
Okay.
I want to be like Walter Payton.
Okay. Speaking of those 85 Bears, you were of age then. What do you remember from that season?
Man, I mean, that whole season was magical. At the time, in '85, I was, 7 or 8 years old, and rap was popular. And new. I used to break dance, and they had the Super Bowl shuffle. We all knew the lyrics, and they had the larger-than-life characters, the Fridge. He was so big and agile, like one of the first 300-pounders. Now it's 5 or 6 on each team. It's nothing. And you had the greatest running back of all time, Walter Payton, the punky QB, Jim McMahon, and the quarterback.
The mooning QB. No.
To win the game like with his arm, like today. You know, a game manager wasn't a bad word back then. And, it was just special, man. It just was a lot of confidence and everything in the city. Everybody it was electric. Bulls and Michael Jordan changed the city a lot, but really Chicago is a football city. If the Bears do good, they'll blow that up bigger than anything the Bulls do. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. This cold and flu season getting to me, y'all. So y'all gotta bear with me. Okay, so who are your favorite all-time Bears players?
I mean, a lot of them would go back to the '85 Bears. That was my favorite team of all time. And, the Fridge, Walter Payton, Richard Dent, Willie Gault. We used to try to, whenever we would play sports, whenever you would make a play, we would always call out a favorite player's name or a player that makes that type of play name. So if we made a great catch running, and we would say we was like Willie. Or if you made a good run and you was running and doing stuff, then you was like Walter, Walt Daddy. Or, you just sacked somebody or whatever, you was the Fridge. Or, you just put a dent on them. And so, those guys were so much larger than life. When you're a kid, they're so big. They, seem so much older than you and everything. And so, it just seemed like, what was that with King Arthur and, with the Camelot. It seemed like legendary, warriors of football at the time. I remember even watching the Super Bowl in my brother's house, and they just destroyed the Patriots at that time. And it was like the largest blowout Super Bowl history at the time. And I just remember thinking, man, we're going to win every year from now on. And they never won again. It's crazy. But they broke up the team and stuff, and it's not easy to win in football. That's why as you get older, you get a better respect for players like Belichick, coaches and players, Brady and stuff, to win and go back so many times. I mean, wow. That's amazing. But yeah, the Bears, 85 Bears, those are my favorite players. There's very few players for the Bears after that I really, really like. Neil Anderson, he was pretty good. He was the running back that took over after Walter Payton. But he was, that's hard shoes to fill. But I believe Neil Anderson probably made like 4 Pro Bowls and, was a good running back. But, he couldn't behind Walter Payton. So that's a big shoes to fill.
That's very true. Okay, now let's switch to the present. Now, this current Bears defense that's led by Khalil Mack, they're top 10 in just about every defensive category. They're number one takeaways. So does this current Bears defense have the same spirit as the '85 defense?
Yeah, I do think that in a way. Their swag comes from the defensive end of the ball, and Khalil Mack is a huge, part of that. He reminds me of Singletary. Singletary was one of my favorite players as well. Mike Singletary, Iron Mike. He was a legendary linebacker, middle linebacker, and Khalil Mack. Although they're not the same personality, the way that he controls the middle is reminiscent of how Singletary did. A lot of people may remember Singletary as a bad coach, with the 49ers or his rant. But Singletary, I remember him as Chicago Bears Hall of Fame linebacker. I mean, amazing. I've seen him make plays off of instinct. Like it was one time it was a goal line play, and he couldn't, he couldn't even see where the guy was, but he just launched off of instinct at the goal line and stopped the guy, from making it into the end zone. And it just was a great player, and I see a lot of that in Khalil Mack. Gruden, he gutted the Raiders for that. They had a great young team on the rise, and he got rid of Khalil Mack. He's ruined their quarterback, and I don't know, but
Trade away Amari Cooper.
Yeah, got rid of Amari Cooper. Like, they just ruined that team after they were so bad for so long. They started to build up the team the right way through the draft, and then he came and just destroyed it all over again. So I don't know what was that about, but I was so surprised when the Bears made a deal for Khalil Mack. Like, the Bears' strategy has changed. Like, I was amazed when they traded up in the draft. Like, the Bears don't trade up in the draft, let alone they get a quarterback. That's the first franchise quarterback that we ever took, ever. But the Bears never take a quarterback in the first round. That was amazing. So, the Bears got a new strategy. And like in the 90s, my sister was actually married to a guy that played for the Bears. And so I used to go to the Bears game all the time. And like 93, 94, 95, I used to go to the Bears game almost like every other week. And we'll go and meet the players. We go hang out at their house, different stuff. And at that time, Jim Harbaugh was the quarterback. And I remember Harbaugh. And he was good, but he wasn't good enough. And then I remember when he left and then went to the Colts and damn near took him to the Super Bowl. I was so mad. I was thinking, why you couldn't do that for us? But, Harbaugh was our quarterback, and that's how I always remember Harbaugh as the Bears quarterback. I know he had a good coaching career since, but he'll always be my quarterback from my childhood. Jim Harbaugh. Yeah.
Wow, so you saw Jim Harbaugh before he became Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. He was my quarterback, and we used to try to play like Harbaugh. When we would play a pass, people would say like Harbaugh and throw the ball, do this or that. And Harbaugh was actually a mobile quarterback back then. He used to do a lot of movement and runs and stuff, but he would get hurt too. And so, we didn't like when he gets hurt. He didn't play every game like quarterbacks do today. But Harbaugh, he was our quarterback.
Oh, yeah. All right. Excuse me. Okay, so let's switch to the Bears coach with Matt Nagy. Now, he came from being the offensive coordinator with the Kansas City Chiefs. What are your thoughts on Matt Nagy and the job he's done his first year as the head coach of the Bears?
I mean, I'm actually blown away and surprised. I didn't think he was going to do anything, really, let alone in the first year. And to see the success they've had so fast. Now, football is the type of thing where you can have success one year because everybody doesn't know about you. But then after that, that's when you really get to see. So, a first-year quarterback or first-year coach or first-year different stuff always has an advantage because there's no film on you and people don't know your schemes and they haven't had a lot of time to study you, which is one reason why Nick Foles has been able to have the success he's had in his career, because he never puts up 2 back-to-back seasons. He'll have one season where he wasn't doing nothing, then the next season where he was great, then the next season where, he ain't all that. And then he's gone away, then come back and do it all over again. And so we'll see. The test is, can he continue to do it? First year is great. I'm happy, but it really doesn't mean anything because there's no film on him and the other coaches don't know what to expect as much. And so they're learning on the fly. Next year, they got a whole season of film on him, and then we'll see. Does he adjust, or is he coming out with the same stuff all the time? So we'll see. I still think the Bears should have never fired Lovie Smith, though.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely did Lovie Smith dirty. He should still be the coach of the Bears today. Okay.
And then Tampa Bay did him dirty.
Definitely. Okay, so now, speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champs, in their NFC wildcard matchup this weekend, what do the Bears have to do defensively to slow down Nick Foles as well as y'all old friend Alshon Jeffrey?
Well, they already know about Alshon Jeffrey and what he can and can't do, so I'm sure they'll be throwing a couple pork chops at him, the little elbows here. They'll rough him up on the line. And as far as Nick Foles, they're going to get them guts and, put a hat on him. And we'll see what he can do. And when the pressure gets tight, them butt cheeks close up in the playoffs. Tight, the pressure comes, we see what happens. Now, yeah, he has proven himself in the playoffs and won the Super Bowl. But he ain't really faced the Bears type defense either, so we'll see. Not that the Bears is the greatest defense of all time right now, but it will be a good challenge, especially since they don't have the same swag as a team that they had last year either. We'll see.
Okay, now, what do the Bears have to do offensively to exploit that Eagles defense?
Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple and do what they've been doing, and they should be able to lead the Eagles. They're not going to put up 30, 40 points. They're not going to win in the shootout. They keep it around 20 points, and the Eagles are the teams, then that'll be good for them because the Bears can at least get one turnover or so and be able to get points off of that, and then they can at least get 1 or 2 touchdowns, one from Mitch and one from somebody he dumped it off to. And Mitch is actually pretty mobile, too. He got some wheels, and so we'll see what he can do. I don't want him to be tap dancing in the pocket like Gregory Hines, but we'll see what he can do. Looking at the stats, Mitch ran for 421 yards and 3 touchdowns. So 6.2 average. That ain't bad. So Tariq Cohen, he only ran for 444. So 20 yards more than Mitch. Mitch only had 68 attempts. Cohen had 99. Now, of course, it's different running out the backfield versus running, scrambling, but still. It'll be interesting. Don't do too much. Keep it simple. Short and simple. What they say, keep it simple, sweet, kiss it. And kiss that ass. You know what I'm saying? That's what they got to do.
Okay, now it's going to be cold Sunday. Soldier Field, off of the lake. How much of the running game is going to be a factor in your opinion?
Big factor. That's one thing. Me growing up playing in Chicago, just, as a kid, we would always prefer to run in the cold versus pass. So, it's a lot of your fingers will get cold and stuff sometimes, trying to catch that hard football and different stuff. If you're not used to it, But see, Philadelphia, they they're a cold weather city too, so I don't know, it may not make that big of a difference for them because they're used to it as well. But it'll definitely be interesting. The running game, they both take part in it. It'll definitely play big, especially with Mitch running and scrambling. Scrambling like, some eggs back there, make something happen. So, we'll see. But I don't think Nick Foles will be trying to pass more than Trubisky, I believe.
Okay, so which NFC team is more of a threat to the Bears' Super Bowl chances, the Rams or the Saints?
I'm going to have to go with the Saints. The Rams are good, but their defense isn't playing as good as the Saints is right now. And so I think that's the difference for the Saints. And then they have Drew Brees there, whereas he's the quarterback, but sometimes like in Peyton Manning days with the coach, a good offense is like a defense because he keeps the defense, opposing defense on the field longer. They can get tired, wore out, injured, different things can happen. And then they give their defense a rest and they'll stay fresh. So I think, it's going to be very interesting. But the Rams, I think, not the Rams, the Saints, I think they may actually go to the Super Bowl. It's between them and the Bears from the NFC.
Okay.
I don't think the Rams got enough experience yet.
Okay, why will the Bears get to the Super Bowl this year?
I think if they do make it, of course, a lot of luck. I have to fall their way. But defense travels better than offense. And so they're going to be on the road most of the playoffs. And I think that'll help that they're based on defense and not offense. And so it's not asking the young quarterback to save them or win the game. He plays pretty much like a game manager. He can make plays, but they don't ask him like the same as what's the young guy in Kansas City, Mahomes.
Yeah.
My homeboy. Yeah, they ain't playing like my homeboy over there. They asking him to lead the team pretty much. And he's doing a great job. He's putting up amazing numbers and stuff. But they don't ask that for Trubisky. And so I think that'll be the difference. My homeboy put up 50 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, and it's really his first year in the NFL. He didn't play last year.
Yeah, I think he's definitely an MVP candidate, if not the MVP.
Right. And see, a great arm runs in his family because his father was an MLB pitcher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So having an arm is great in his family. And so he's definitely making the most of it. Yeah, 50 touchdowns, Bradley. That's amazing. 5,000 yards. He's going to break all passing records.
Yes, he is.
If you put up 50 touchdowns your first year, and you average 40 or 50 touchdowns a year, you're going to break everything. 5,000 yards your first year, and you do that, every year, 10 years, that's 50,000. The way QBs play today, they play for 20. He's going to put up 100,000 yards.
Yeah, that would be a sight to see.
Wow.
Excuse me. So you definitely have the utmost confidence. Say if the Bears get to the NFC Championship game and gotta go to New Orleans in that hostile crowd in the dome, that they could win the NFC Championship right there.
They got a good chance. And I was just looking at Patrick Mahomes' info, and now I realize why he's so great. His birthday is September 17th, which is my birthday. I understand why he's able to do so much. He got the greatest birthday ever. He was born September 17th, 95. Wow. I graduated high school in 96. This guy makes me feel old. I guess I am old.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing why the 85 Bears mean so much. All of those guys were grown and stuff. I looked up to them. Whereas now, people like him, I look like, damn, he's a kid. You know what I mean? And so I don't, it's different. Like, I can't see them the same as when you were a kid. So the 85 Bears and players of my youth always, be special. But, yeah, he's going to do some amazing things. Wow.
Yes, I definitely agree. Now, what will prevent the Bears from getting to the Super Bowl?
Injuries, Injuries can always ruin everything for any team. And so, I'd hate for that to happen. But, it's nothing you can really do about it. So, injuries can really hurt the Bears and prevent them from going where they want to go. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But you never know. So, we'll see.
Excuse me. Also, which other quarterbacks you think have a bright future? Young quarterbacks, excuse me.
There's actually a few that's doing good right now. It seems like at one point it was hard to find good quarterbacks, and now it seems like there's a few of them out there. Your boy Baker, he's doing pretty good. And, Sam Donald looked like he might be all right. Deshaun Watson doing good. Andrew Luck. It's a lot of talent now in the NFL at quarterback. But, it's not a lot of good coaching for talent. You can see what happened with Jeff Fisher and, what's his name with the Rams. I'm thinking the quarterback's name offhand for the Rams. What's his name? Well, anyway, the quarterback for the Rams.
Oh, Jared Goff?
Yeah, Jared Goff. There you go. Jared Goff, he looked like a bust under Jeff Fisher. The very next year, he looked like an MVP candidate when Jeff Fisher's gone. So it just shows coaching is really more important than people give it credit for, too. Carson Wentz is looking pretty good, too, but he looked like he may be an injury-prone quarterback.
Right.
But yeah, it's a lot of talent. It's a good 10, 12 quarterbacks that you can see could be the new class of the future. Because, Drew Brees, Brady, all of those guys, Roethlisberger, and all of those guys getting old. About to go. Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, they'll be all out the league in the next 2-3 years.
Right.
So, this new group of quarterbacks is looking pretty promising, though.
Definitely. Now, if the Bears win the Super Bowl, will you be at the parade in Chicago?
I'll be in the front if I could. Heck yeah, because when the Bears won in 85, I was a kid, and I wasn't able to enjoy that type of thing as a grown person. And when the Bulls won their first 3 championships, I was still young. 91, 92, 93. I graduated 8th grade in 92. So 93, I was just a freshman in high school. I was still young, but when they had their second 3, 96, 97, 98, I was out of high school and I was able to do things, drive down and enjoy those more. And so I would love to be able to go and actually enjoy the Bears celebration now. That's something I didn't get to do when I was a kid. You enjoy it in a kid way, but it's not the same as a grown way,
I definitely agree. Okay, before we get out of here, give me your prediction for this weekend's, for all the weekend's wild card games.
All right, give me the rundown of each one. I can't remember.
Okay, well, let's start at home with your Bears and Philadelphia Eagles.
That's going to be a toss-up, and it's going to be a close game. but I believe the Bears shall prevail. If Nick Foles throws at least one interception, then that's going to hurt them, because I believe the Bears can capitalize and put up enough points around it to secure a victory.
Okay, the next NFC wildcard game. Seahawks at the Cowboys.
That's a good one. The Cowboys surprised me this year of winning 10 games. I didn't think they were going to do that. And I still don't have a lot of belief in Dak, though. You know, he's more of a game manager now. And if they can't get the running game going with Ezekiel Elliott, Easy E, I don't think they're going to be able to win. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I've already seen Russell Wilson do his thing. Wow. So I have more faith in that. I've seen him do it.
Okay.
You got to make sure Sierra stay happy.
Definitely. Okay, let's flip it over to the AFC. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, keep them goodies on deck. That's all.
I know that's right. Okay, now let's flip it over to the AFC, starting with the Texans and the Colts.
That's a good one. That's a real toss-up. I mean, that's a division rivalry. They played each other for years. They know each other. Andrew Luck is back. Sean Watson is playing good. You got J.J. Watt, Clowney, but the Colts defense is good, too. They split the season series 1-1. Man, he's a pointy pick. You really can't go wrong, but I'm going to go with the Colts just because they've owned that division for 20 years. And, just recently, Houston has started to do something with Andrew Luck injured. So I'm going to go with Indianapolis. I don't think they have no fear in Houston.
All right, and the last wild card game of the weekend, the Ravens versus the Chargers.
That's a good one. And right now, I think it's Phillip Rivers' time. He's put up a better career than really Ben Roethlisberger and Eli Manning, but because he don't have the Super Bowls, nobody talks about him like that. You know, they were all in the same draft class.
Right.
And he's had some great talented teams with Ladanian and stuff like that, but they say this year may be one of the best teams they had. And so, and Bosa really turned out to be a good player. And so, I think Rivers is going to win. I'm going to give it to them. They got Geno Smith as the backup quarterback over there. It's good to see Geno still got a job, but, they definitely don't want Phillip injured. I know that much. But, yeah, I'm going to give it to the Chargers on that one.
So you basically saying about 3 out of 4 teams on the road is going to win the wild card game this weekend.
Yep. 3 out of 4. I believe it.
Wow.
They got the momentum. They got a lot of things working for them. We'll see if I'm right. Maybe we have to come back and talk again about it. Maybe I'll start doing predictions. What was that in casino? And the Nero is doing predictions, running for sports. We'll see.
Dang, I agree with most of your picks except for the Texans and the Colts. I think the Texans are going to win that game.
Yeah, that's a toss-up. It really is. I mean, they know each other so well. They played this season. I think they both won one of the 2 games they played. They both put up about the same numbers. So it's a really close game.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the Chargers team right now. I forgot Antonio Gates came back. He's 38 years old.
Yep. Wow. Came back for 1 more year. Now the Chargers and Ravens, I really like the Ravens defense, but for some reason, I think the Chargers learned from that loss that they took at home to the Ravens a couple weeks ago. And also, they got more time to plan and scheme on Lamar Jackson, who's done pretty great, by the way.
Yeah, Flacco days is nothing.
Oh, big time.
Fluco, he made a mistake taking all that money. You should take the money, but you should also realize that you're not as good as you think. And you need that talent around you. And so, yeah, you want that money, but they couldn't pay for that talent around you, which then made you suffer and look bad.
Horrible.
And that's what's happened. Yeah, and that's what's happened to them. They haven't been able to pay anybody to be around them. They put the ball in his hands, so they backed up the money truck to him, and he let him down. And that'd be one way to lose your job quick, fast, in a hurry, especially with the way they got quarterbacks so cheap nowadays.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, Jay, I appreciate you coming on with me.
No problem, brother.
So good luck to your Bears.
Yeah, thanks. No problem. And it look like your Browns may be on the way. I'm going to have to get something brown to wear for you.
Yep, you still owe me for that bet. All right, now.
Atlanta always pays his debts.
I know that's right.